a huge part of the fight, or the huge part of the win is your mindset, honestly. So one, akid, you should be focused because you have to know when to like punch, when to kick, when blah blah blah, all the techniques you learn. But the other 50% or 60% is your mentality of and how you enter the game. So it's, if you're entering like you're like, I'm scared, I'm not gonna win, and this has happened with me, by the way, in an
279 of 8 to the show. We're traveling around the world, and now we're back in
Beirut.
Yes, with Nour Richani. Yes.
And
welcome on the show.
Welcome on the show. We have our own Saeed Jamal on the show, and we have also Nour. Nour, welcome on the show. Let the world know who you are and what you do.
Okay, so basically, I'm an architecture student, fourth year now at LEU, Beirut. I'm 22 years old. So talking about my hobbies, I play the karate, so I've been playing for 14 years, all the piano as well, and I'm volunteering at the Lebanese Red Cross.
Oh, really cool.
It's pretty cool.
I'm really curious about the karate part, because I need to know. I feel like I've been thinking about the difference in like fighting is something we all used to do a lot, like 100 years ago, right? Everyone used to go to war. All of our lives, we used to always fight.
Why'd you go 100 years ago? No Arab has not gone in a fight. Period.
That is
all
true.
Been in school fights.
Well, that's why. So, do you think like fighting is something practical to learn now for you? Do you actually think you might get in a fight? So it's good to learn karate.
Yes, I think we should all learn at some point self-defense or fighting, because especially for women in these days, especially in our like country, in our area, because first it's gonna build a better a better personality for the woman, for their confidence, and in any case, if they face any problem or any like fight in the street, you never know, they at least know what to do in that case. So
have you ever had to fight someone? I
had to do that, but in school, not in the streets. So hoping not to fight in the streets.
They don't want to catch these hands on the streets, bro.
All right.
You already know.
Yo, so what did you do in school? Like, what happened? Why did you have to beat someone up? Or maybe you lost. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna ask you.
The other way, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah, like maybe you got beat up.
No, there was that girl at school. We weren't on really good terms, and we were on the break, and it wasn't a good time. So we just like I just couldn't handle it, so I just kicked her.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Wait, you just kicked her?
I just.
That's it. That's what we're calling a fight. Like you just kicked her.
I can't really go into a deep fight with a girl at school.
True, but I did. Not a girl though.
Not a girl.
Let me specify. Not a girl.
It was a proper kid though. Huh?
Oh,
yeah, it's from
was
a
it like a
professional
roundhouse,
like
or a side kick, or was it a Sparta kick? I mean, what are we talking about?
With a Sparta kick, right?
Bro, I once kicked someone down the stairs with the Sparta kick. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I did that to my sister, honestly, and I started crying after it.
I just laughed because the guy was like, and he was like, I'm looking at, I was exactly like the movies. I was like, whoa, why is this in slow motion? What's going on here? Why is he falling so slowly?
Yeah, we discussed that you'd be into that kind of stuff in the previous episode. You remember the Purge one?
The what?
Right.
Remember about if there was no laws, you'd be like, yeah, definitely do that kind of stuff.
Listen, I'm very hemedgy. No, not hemedgy. Hemedgy is too like vulgar. I'm very brutal when I have to be.
Brutal.
But I tend not to be. I'm kind with everyone, but when it calls, desperate time calls for desperate measures.
Sometimes not in your hand.
I mean, no, don't worry. Listen, I wouldn't hurt a fly unless the fly bit me. Then it's a different situation.
Well, I like what Ali has to say, actually, because like there are people who just say, hey, why do you need to learn how to fight? If you like, I believe in peace, you shouldn't be fighting people.
Yeah, no, I'm a peaceful guy.
I'm a peaceful guy too. But I also do think that it's good
I'm a peaceful girl as well.
All right, so why are you learning how to fight?
Like, no offense. Listen, no offense.
By the way, it's not only about fighting. And I believe it's also it's called martial arts. So I believe it's an art as well. especially if we're talking about karate, لأنه the other types of martial arts like MMA or judo, or I don't know which ones يعني specifically, but they're more rough, you know. Our game is lighter, it's semi-contact, not full contact. So there, and I really enjoy fighting while playing. You know, it's not only about fighting or punching or
Wait, isn't karate more of a defensive than offensive?
No, it's both. We do both.
There's something you said that's like, I'm kind of interested now.
Yeah.
Semi-contact?
Yeah.
What is that? Wait, okay, explain.
I'm gonna explain.
Please do.
Okay. So basically the face part is not really we're not really allowed to like have full contact. So we can't
like the body, there's the arms, but the face is like right there.
Okay, I cannot break her nose or her teeth, so we have the protector anyway. But on the other hand, on the bust, on the back, so I can kick as hard as I can or as I want. And مثلا under and تحت الحزام I cannot like kick under the belt. So,
again, like the easiest part, it's easy to end the fight that way.
Yes, but كمان at the same time لأنه there's a lot of rules and you know, fouls, etc. It's harder. It's about speed actually, and it's about who can take the point before the other, you know.
Wait, so you're talking from a tournament aspect, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So and our game is based on points, not on knockouts like other games. So this is even harder, and we're talking about the game, not about fighting, you know, because you have to be wiser, you have to be focused and in the middle of the fight while your adrenaline is like high as fuck. So yes, it's hard, yet it's nice, and I really like it.
You know, the hardest thing for a guy who's been in many fights, right? The hardest thing is controlling your adrenaline. The hardest thing, because you do the most. Like I know people that almost killed other people because their adrenaline got the best of them, right? So in a fight situation, I'm being dead serious. Like this is like.
Yeah, this is hard, you know.
Like so, what would you? How do you control your adrenaline, and so you can focus on what to do instead of just throwing your hands and pray?
Well, I can't really do that. There's a lot of sometimes if I do something like that, I just get a foul, and sometimes I'm disqualified, you know, of the game. So we're not allowed to get to this point, especially because you know, it's one of the like rules of the game is respect, you know. So yes, we should control actually our like discipline in the game. We should always like نسلم مع بعض before and after the fight, and yes, يعني we're actually obliged to do that. It's not an option.
No, but I'm saying in a normal situation, right? When you're practicing or whenever it is, or when you're actually in a fight, right?
Right.
How is it that you control your adrenaline? Like, is there something you do? Do you take like deep breaths?
You're very powerful. So if I can imagine, if you get very angry at someone, you might feel like I just want to attack them.
Yeah, just go full like sure you don't. flying kick, and break their nose.
I'm not sure if I could really like control it if I'm in a regular fight.
Oh damn!
Oh damn!
Like
the
blood and gore. That's what we're going for.
She just sees red.
Exactly.
That's what happens. Like it's the same as me. All I do is I see red when I'm in a fight. That's it.
So if you're ever in a fight, you need someone to be there to stop you from killing that other person instead of, you know. It's like you need someone.
Okay, but on a serious note now, like, no offense, but when I first saw you, I was like she looks too peaceful to do karate, right? Which tells me that this is more of a way of life and discipline kind of thing more than it is fighting, right? So how has learning karate or however you want to, I don't know how to say it, by the way, I'm confused.
Doesn't matter.
Karate. Cool. How did it help you in your life? Like, what did it improve in you as Nour?
I believe it really affected my personality at some point, especially, you know, I started it when I was really young. So, you know, these different phases at school, the different like bullying part. You know, I wasn't really bullied, but I was like, you know, you know, everyone passes through all the, you know, like situation in life. So at some point it really helped me in my confidence, in my like I believe at some point it helps your maturity. I don't know if it's relevant, but I believe so. لأنه once you're committed at a young age to a game where you have to learn discipline, where you have to like respect rules, focus, all of that, I think it really develops your way of living, your way of thinking, your commitment. So I think it was really a huge part of who I am today, and I'm still like going through.
Discipline.
But it's true though. Like at a young age, Haejl, you're a psychologist, right? At a young age, when you have to learn to be disciplined and follow by the rules, I'm sure that's something.
Amazing, right? Especially because Nour, you've been doing this for 12 years. You said, right?
14 years.
14 years.
2007. Yeah.
Ali, have you done anything? I haven't done anything for 14
No, I've done
years.
horse riding for around 7
For how long,
years.
Ali? Last time you rode a horse, Ali.
Yeah, but the last time I rode a horse was like 5 years ago, right? But when I was 7 till I was around 15, I did horse riding. That's about it. That's
Imagine 14 years
of just
That's amazing.
Kicking
At what
ass.
point
That's not
did
bad.
you feel like you were like a pro? At what point did you feel like I can beat anyone who comes my way?
In a real fight, you mean?
And or in competition, right? Because you kick ass in
competition.
competition.
Yeah.
So
yeah, okay. So if I want to talk about how I evolved in the game, so basically, the first phase is about you taking the going from a level to another, from a belt to another, until you reach the black belt. And then I was selected for the national team in Lebanon, and starting then, so I'm talking about 2013. I was selected for the national team, and therefore I was selected for international championships, especially that because I was always winning in the Lebanese championship. So
yeah, don't you have a winning streak on that?
it was too easy, so I gotta go international.
Yeah, don't you have a national
world?
No, seriously, I know this because I know you personally, Nour, and don't you have a winning streak in the national league?
Yes, 10 times consecutive.
I just want to.
I just won 10 times. It's nothing, right?
10 years in a row.
I've been in 7 fights. I won 4, and it wasn't even consecutive. Right?
They're consecutive.
How do you say that word? Consecutive? Did I say that
consecutive.
Right?
Yeah, you got it.
4 in a row.
Four. It wasn't even 4 in a row. It was I won once, got my ass kicked twice, won another one, won another one. That's my streak, right? 2-win streak.
Yeah, you're very inconsistent, Ali.
And then I lost another one, and I was just you know what? Fighting isn't it. It's not it.
Not for me.
It's not for me. I'm a hugger, right? I'm not a fighter. I've come to realize this when I got my ass kicked 2 times in a row.
I can assume that you can do both.
I can do what?
Both.
You can do both.
What, me? I mean, I usually just depend on my weight and height in fights. That's it. If I can get you on the ground and sit on you, game over. I win this, right? But if you get me on the ground, it takes a lot of pressure to get this ass up and running again. You know what I mean? It's just not. Yeah, I'm just fuck, I gotta get up now. I'm just shit. Now I gotta get up, and it's true. It really is. So that's
but seriously, Nour, with the winning streak, don't you feel I don't know, this is, you've not had enough, or maybe it's boring now for you? I mean, you have no competition. It's just
so easy. I'm 22. I mastered the sport. The best in my country. Now what am I gonna do?
And if I was only playing in Lebanon, a kid at some point I would have chose to stop. But as I mentioned, I with the national team, so we went for several competitions abroad, and I also had won positions there. And so this was my main goal. So the first goal was to preserve my title, or my position of Lebanese champion. But in fact. In 2019, we didn't do Lebanese championship because of the revolution, and this year because of Corona. So my title went from 2008 until 2018. So now, since with my major, and maybe I'm gonna graduate next year and stuff. So maybe I'm thinking of not like attend anymore the Lebanese championship, so to preserve that title and move on maybe only to
Quit while you're
the
ahead. That's
national
genius.
championship.
Yeah.
That's genius. Quit while you're ahead. Did anyone ever do this 10 wins in a row win streak? I don't think. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. You're the Floyd Mayweather of Lebanese.
Pretty much.
Like, yeah, 10 in a row. No one's
Yeah.
ever beat you for like 10 consecutive like goes. Khalas, quit
Right.
while you're ahead.
I
Or
mean,
if the competition is easy, make it 11 in a row.
right. No, I mean, you don't think if there's
I
another
was in
competition you
champion
can
for
win?
2 years. Sorry, what?
You don't think you would win? I feel like I have the feeling that if you every fight you go to, you feel like, oh, I'm gonna win this, and so you just win, you just beat them, right? You don't think you'd be
The
able to
winner's
win
mentality
competition?
does a lot.
Where are you talking about local competitions or abroad? Yani?
The 10 in a
Local,
row,
but then
making
also-
it
yeah.
11.
Making 11, 12, 15, 20, 50.
And of course, if the competitions come back and they start to do that again, of course I participate. But
Right.
this is like a plan for now with all the pandemic situation. And everything,
Situation. All right, cool. And tell us more about your mindset when you get into a game, because I understand like a lot of people as like just get consecutive wins, and it's very strange to me how like people just dominate some games. It's not doesn't make
Very
sense,
fast
right?
sometimes, yeah.
And
they do
very
it
fast
very
back to
quickly.
back. But I
Yeah.
do think it's a mindset thing. It's a mentality thing. Is that what you
The
think?
bulldog
Or-
mentality.
Or is it a physical
It's
thing?
like-
What do you think it is, Nour?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Right.
It cut you.
Your mindset during the fights.
Yeah.
Do you always think I'm going to win? Because it's very strange that you've won this much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So a huge part of the fight, or the huge part of the win is your mindset, honestly. So one, akid, you should be focused because you have to know when to like punch, when to kick, when blah blah blah, all the techniques you learn. But the other 50% or 60% is your mentality and how you enter the game. So it's if you're entering like you're like, I'm scared, I'm not gonna win. And this has happened with me, by the way, in an international championship. So my first one abroad, I entered with fear, with they're like way better than me and blah blah blah. So of course I lost my first championship abroad. But if I'm talking like here local, in Lebanon. Okay, part of me is like, of course, the confidence that I'm a good player, but of course I always put an option, maybe the partner or the girls that fighting with me could be at some point better than me. Maybe she was training for like a year to like fight against me and the finals, So I always have to have this option, or otherwise I might lose, if I'm like خلاص I'm gonna win anyways, blah blah. إلا ما يكون في شيء هيك like a shock at some point. So yes, أكيد you have to enter with confidence, with I'm gonna win, but keep an option that sometimes maybe someone's better than you at some point.
So it's kind of a gray area in the middle of not overconfident, but not underconfident. So just confident, right? So that's interesting.
That's pretty cool.
A question that I wanted to ask you actually, Nour, it's a bit like, what are you considering to do with? Okay, so you've kind of built a platform for yourself with being the karate champion for so long. Are you thinking of maybe using this platform maybe for something else? So we mentioned women empowerment indirectly in the beginning of the podcast. Have you maybe thought about that?
To use it like how? Actually, I didn't really get your question.
Okay, so maybe like spreading awareness, especially in our region.
Okay, so I joined I joined like a month ago. I was guest in TEDx Aliyu, and so we talked and the Women's Day, I think, So it was also to raise awareness of how women is treated, especially in the Arab region, and how this might like help the women have more confidence in themselves, and why Aslan at some point, especially in our area, they always say a woman should learn self-defense, should. So yeah, I believe and I've got really good feedback, especially from like girls my age or even younger girls my age or younger, and so I think think yes. First, I start to like maybe raise awareness for the people around me, and maybe at some point, if I join, for example, such a podcast, or I don't know, like
You're on one.
platforms, it's a way maybe
Here you are.
to transfer this message or awareness for girls, yes, my age. It's really important. It's really beneficial for you, on a personal level, So yeah, definitely I would use it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, do you think your reputation helps you like win in these like championships, or do you think the other like people go like, oh my god, that's the 10 times beast of Lebanon, that's Nour, and you just walk in there? Does that help your ego, or what happens there?
I'm sure it scares them also, right?
Yeah, because I think that's what puts them in the losing mentality, I would say. Could that be?
Yes, that's true. In fact, yeah, because I believe this once I like really experienced it abroad. So all this. If I want to talk an average between Lebanon and other countries, our الاتحاد and our
union or federation,
yes,
is it?
Federation, yes. Our karate federation in Lebanon is not really like strong as much as other countries. So نحن on average we're not as good in general as other countries. So there's a lot of world champions, that I played against in other championships. So once I entered the game against them, I had this feeling. So I think أكيد إنه at some point it's applicable here with me. And yes, it played a role. I've heard a lot of like comments while entering the game. Yes, هلا نورو X, so يلا يلا احضروا الماتش, أو إنه يلا هلا ولعان match. So yes, this is a real boost for your confidence and your I don't want to call it ego, but it really plays a role.
But how do you humble yourself when you're this great at what you do? Like a lot of people who are this great, like just to name a few, Conor McGregor,
that's smashing
these guys. Yeah, these guys they're good at what they do, but there was a point where their egos got the best of them, right? Because they didn't keep it in check. So how do you humble yourself? What is it that you do to humble yourself on a day-to-day basis, just to not go overconfidence?
Okay. So basically, the first thing is my trainer, so my coach. He was a big part of this. He always says, you can always be better. Literally, من الآخر ما تصدقوا حالكم. So there's always someone that should at some point, especially أول فترة, the first couple of years, especially when you're in your puberty, adulthood, that's this period, like this phase. So yes, at this phase I had someone to like keep me humble. Okay, but هلا for today today Marv, I believe إنه maybe yes I'm winning, but I could be losing anytime. Could like I should not have like a really high ego. It's not nice for people. On the contrary, blacks, sometimes I have my friends, I train my friends, I train with friends, I think always there's always someone better than you at some point in some like things. I can always learn from others, I can teach others. Yes,
right.
Yeah, you mentioned your trainer, and I do believe like a role model like that is always important to have around, especially in that age that you mentioned during like early adolescence or the puberty phase, so teens and stuff.
Thanks, died.
This basically applies them entirely. I mean, we're all adults now. Come on.
Just continue the question.
We're all adults.
Just continue your damn question.
By the way,
it's not a question; it's a statement. Yeah.
Not to mention any name, but I think also part of me being like this is seeing someone that like confident or like who has a very like big ego. There's that girl. كمان we're always like reaching each other in the competition in Lebanon. So she plays in a different way. She plays in a different way. Everybody says خلاص go back to earth and down to earth. أنا كتير شاذة هاي, you know, very high ego. So yeah,
Gas ego.
so no, I
yeah.
don't really like that. So yeah, no, sometimes if you see someone like this, you know, you'd like, خلاص, I'm gonna back off, you know.
It doesn't make you
Don't
better
back
fighter,
off. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to humble these people.
No, not back off. مش قصدي هيك. قصدي إنه not to be over confident or over, like, you know, because it affects the way you play, you know. Sometimes يعني it reaches disrespectfulness. So I don't.
We don't want that.
Personally, I'm more scared from like a person who's like quiet and is like, want to fight? Just come on back. Versus a guy who's like, yeah, dude, you want to fight? Let's go fight him right now. I feel like I could easily just smack that guy. But like if someone was like, hey, you actually want to fight? Come on. Like someone who's calm and quiet.
Like, what do you have to hide? Like, why are you so quiet?
What do you have to hide? I'm not gonna fight with you.
Are you like working with the fucking Marines or something? Like, what's going on there, buddy? Why are you so silent?
Bro, I have a funny story based on that. So I have a friend whose brother he's like completely quiet. He shows no emotion, no nothing.
Mute.
So one day we were just like, his brother, my friend, was showing me the stuff, his collectibles basically. You know what he has as collectibles? You know, the guy has a butterfly knife. He has throwing stars made out of pure steel.
Let's not put this out there. We don't want your hands to go into trouble.
He has nunchucks.
He didn't dox him.
No names.
I'm not mentioning any names. I didn't mention any names. I just said a friend, you know, and his brother. That's it.
Yeah.
And the guy is like super quiet. You know, he's like perfect example of what Ali was mentioning.
Right.
Dude,
So,
those
that guy.
Nour, is that what you think? Do you also agree? Like the fighters, when you fight someone,
I don't know. I feel like she's that quiet person. That's why she's laughing. She's like, haha, if only they knew that I know like 500 ways to kill a person.
And I'm in between. I'm not that quiet, neither that like.
Right. Out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I mean, I can tell. Yeah, you're quiet, which is kind of scary. It's unsettling. I won't lie. Especially, wait. So, what degree black belt are you? Are you like a
What degree black belt?
I was applying for the 3rd degree, but COVID started and everything has stopped. Yeah.
So you're a 2nd degree black belt. And how does degree ship work? I don't know if that's a word.
Yes, here in Lebanon, it's based on one, the amount of years you're in, you're playing, and 2, you have to pass an exam. So it's not like they just give you the degree or something. So you have to pass an exam, not written exam, of course, a practical exam.
What do you do? Do you have to kick someone's ass to get it, or how does it work?
It's divided into different parts. So our game is divided into other than fighting. So there's you're not gonna understand.
You gotta perform
this.
like front flip kicks and shit.
Exactly. Not really this, but we have to perform a series of like moves that creates one like kata. It's called. So there's a lot of like different.
There's multiple katas, right? Yes. For each degree, there's a certain amount of katas that you have to know.
Yes, exactly. There's also different, and it's divided into different parts. So the exam is composed of those different parts, including fighting, including other series of like moves. So you have to pass them, and it gets harder the higher the degree, of course.
I mean, that's pretty cool. So it's like you gotta perform like a coordinated attack, let's call it, or a kata, right?
Navy SEALs operation.
And you basically so is there like a judge panel where they hold up like a scorecard, or is it just like one person goes like
it's like Arab's Got Talent, right?
That's about it,
10 stars.
That's spot on. That's, you know what, she did it. You're in the 2nd degree. How does it work?
Okay, so basically it's a bit the same during competition. So basically they're two against each other. So one wears a blue belt and the other red belt, and we have like 5 jurors on the corner of the tatami, and once the show or the moves are done, so they have to raise the flag according and the color that wins win. And this is for the kata. And for the fights, so we have also 4 jurors on the corners and one in the middle. So he stops or she stops the game whenever she want to give the point to the player, etc. So kamen it's based on points. So we have like these two.
And is there like a history behind these katas, or they're just like moves created by some sensei?
They yes, they go back to the history يعني, of the like this martial arts يعني, which is Japanese. So yeah, every
Wait.
move, yes, it's either a defense
It's
or
Japanese?
an attack, and it's not like random, like they can move, you know.
Wait, so karate
Yeah,
is Japanese? I thought it was Chinese for some
I
reason.
thought it was Lebanese for some reason.
Really? No.
No,
Oh god.
no, that's
No.
not even close.
No.
You're not close to this at all.
The other side of Asia, my guy. The other side of Asia, right? But wait, so here's an honest question I want to ask you, right? Do you think at some point in time in the future you're gonna open your own dojo and like start training people, or is that not for you?
I already train small karate players, but within my club. But at some point, I think I could be using like this hobby or my other hobbies as a side job. Of course, not my major job, but I could be like having my own dojo and
Teach others.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to teach more people. I was just thinking about like how we can all learn from different kinds of martial arts, right? Different like learning how to fight and physical exercise. That's kind of something huge that they don't really teach us in school.
Right, boys, I want to try this one experiment. So based off what you just said, Ali, except for Nour, because you already do something, right? Hands up if you've done any form of martial arts before.
Sure.
Wait, so we've all done martial arts, really? What?
Yeah, but I stopped. I did it for like 2 years when I was
What did you
5
do?
years old.
Wait, what did you do?
I think like jiu-jitsu or like
Oh my god, wait,
Yeah.
we did jiu-jitsu. Shit, I remember.
in kindergarten, dude.
No, not in kindergarten. We were like in year 5 or 6.
Yeah, right.
like-
but then they stopped. In school, they let us do it. but
Yeah,
then
they let us
stopped.
do it in school,
Yeah,
but
for
they
some
made us
reason.
promise that we'd never use it on the playground, which was bullshit because we did, right? but yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Said, what did you do?
I did karate for like a half a year, and then I did taekwondo for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Why did you stop?
Why'd you stop?
What made me stop is being a kid that wasn't that lost interest, basically. I was like, yeah. But I do still remember like some of the things that I learned. I mean, I remember like what we were like. I was like 10 years old or 9 years old. At one point, the sensei just basically during the session would get like a wooden like you know, the board and just
The
like
plank.
yeah. And he's like break this. I'm like at 9 years. Bro, what the hell? Everyone would take a turn, you know, and then obviously the eldest student broke it herself.
None of you broke it?
Bro, we're 9-year-old kids.
Years old.
We're not.
It's about the technique. It's not about the strength, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
at
gotta
9
punch
years old, I
through
didn't know the
board,
technique.
not on the board. You have to guide your fist in the ways of fury.
It's kind of interesting how you did this poll. Like, I feel like a lot of people I know did do like some kind of martial art growing up, but then they lost interest or
They did, yeah.
stopped.
And now
Right, why do you
because
think-
we're Arabs, bro, we like to fight. We like fighting. Hey, listen, it's the truth. It's the
What?
truth. We
Do
love
people
fighting.
around the world
That's not
fight?
even
Japanese-
true.
It's not even Arab,
You
dude.
do. You can't
Japanese.
deny it. And like, look around you. Everyone's fighting all the damn time. If it's not with fists, it's verbally. That's us. It's just too hot
I
in
agree
this part of
that-
the world, right?
I
It's
disagree,
too
dude,
hot in this part.
also.
And you're in LA. Shut up. You don't get a say in this. Okay? It's too hot here. Everyone's pissed off, and there's no way to project our anger. So it's either we do it legally in a ring or illegally in a back alley. And that's just the truth.
By the way, Noor, I have to ask you a personal question. So you do a bunch of things. Like, okay, so and the reason why I know these things is because I actually know Noor.
That's true.
We're actually friends in real life. We met through
That's
Red
true.
Cross. Yeah. So you do Red Cross. You do
Red
karate.
Cross.
You also play the piano. You're an an architecture student.
Hey, that's pretty
I mean, how do you manage your time? How do you do all of the stuff? I mean, it's obviously everything is like it takes a lot of time and effort from you.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you could share with you.
Yeah, sure. So basically, I started karate and piano together when I was really at a really young age. So I was like 7, 8. And along with other hobbies that I stopped at some point. So I started with many like hobbies I was interested and then at some point, خلاص, I had to filter and keep the ones I'm really committed to and I'm really good at. So I kept those two. And like as I mentioned previously, at this age, at a young age, once you get committed to I don't know, to different fields, خلاص, it gets you mature. يعني خلاص, I was like
Teaches you responsibility.
yeah, and I got used to divide my time and to have a better time management since I was really young. يعني. So this stayed with me until today. And when I entered like uni, it was really hard for me to adapt to that to this very demanding major, because we have to do like 7 overnights in a row. You have to be really committed, especially I work I'm a nerd at the uni, so come in. This is a point. So I really study a lot.
You're a what?
What?
At uni, not at school. I was different. At
Listen, hey,
I shifted 180
it takes
degree.
one to know one, right? It really does take
One
to
of
know
us.
one, so-
I still have that picture in my head during the committee camp, the Red Cross committee camp. Like you had all of your material for an architecture course. It's just like you're working on it, and everyone is like, it's just having fun and playing around because like we were on our break, and this is like at 10 p.m. maybe, or we were done with training, and then you find Nour sitting in the corner with all of her stuff working on her design. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, design.
Yes,
you have to. Sorry, we have to be. يعني خلاص, you have to compromise at some point. So instead of taking my break, I was studying because I had to be at the camp. At some point you'll have to put priorities. So for example, in such days today, my priority is. For example, now I'm also the head of center in the Red Cross. So this is another commitment, So my focus now is this, as well as my GPA. And so now, for example, the goal of winning a championship is not really relevant since we don't have any. So now my priority is. So sometimes like moving your priority, compromising, sacrificing, but it comes along and you still can succeed in all of those. Yeah.
So question, are you still training nowadays?
Yeah, of course.
All right. How often do you train? And yeah, I'm kind of curious to know like what your
daily
you need to teach us or something. You need to teach us something.
I'm good. I'd rather depend on the old faithful, get them on their back, sit on top, and just ground and pound. It's the old faithful.
I could teach that on the side, yeah. So the customer.
Cool.
Tell us Nour about like more like of. I don't know. So what's something you learned that helped you get that discipline and focus? How about those two? To do all these things.
To do all of these things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe in perceiving in those all together is when you succeed. And when I saw myself, I'm really succeeding in these different fields, I felt like I cannot release one of them. It's part of me, especially that I've been playing the piano or karate for almost 2 decades. So I really can't let off one of them. So خلاص, they're part of my lifestyle. If I don't go to training or something, it feels wrong. I feel like I have a lot of free time. This is wrong. If فخلاص, it comes along when you train, when you have this the schedule, the routine. خلاص, it's parts of your routine. But كمان you have to be passionate about it.
I understand, but if you're really focused, like if you have your grades in school are still really good. It's not like so I know like if I were in Lebanon and I was like doing podcasting and other stuff, my family would be like, hey, stop doing that, focus on your studies. But you're focused on your studies and you're focused on these other things.
And
a lot of people
at the same time.
And volunteering. A lot of people don't have the ability to focus on that many things at the same time.
Yeah, me too.
On one thing at a time, right? So like like is it the like karate that you do that helps you really focus? Is it or is it, what is it?
I think it's because I got used to it, you know.
Yeah, wow.
Yes, no, خلص, no, I'm passionate about those. So if I do not do them, it feels wrong, you know. And at the same time, you know, صح, you know, I'm doing all of those, so I'm focused. And here, part of it is to adapt to those يعني, different things you're doing in your life, or even to the situations you're in. So I got adapted to this. And by the way, when I mentioned I'm the head of center. This at first, when I got this position, I felt like really overwhelmed. You know, I know this is another big commitment, another like responsibility.
Right.
So it took me around a month to adapt to this another change. You know, so of course, and everything new has to take you time to get used to it. But خلاص, if you're passionate about it, I emphasize on this. And if you like it, if you're passionate about it, you'll keep it and you'll move on with it.
The important point that you mentioned is passion. So, for example, you guys said that we lose interest fast, you know. Like, for example, we all gave up on martial arts early on in our lives because we weren't that interested.
No, that's not my reason. I had school. And I can't do more than two things at a time.
That's not an excuse.
Hey, I can't focus on more than two things at a time.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, for example, in Nour's sake, she found her passions early on. This is something not every kid has. Like, they don't have that available, that ability to find their passion early on so that they can stick to it and create, exactly, the motivation and the commitment aspect. So, in a sense, you form this mentality early on, while majority of people don't. So I think it's like the mentality from your passion, from your like hobbies.
Yeah, definitely, and it's part of your character, I believe. You know, and I'm someone who's like
built different.
Not
you're like Khabib. It's the mindset.
It's not like it's a mindset. And خلاص, I like to like succeed in what I do in general, you know. And you know, I totally agree with the part that you know, if I'm winning or if I'm seeing a good result, you know, this is a huge motivation, you know. But كمان mentioning the motivation at an early age. Well, I believe, you know, the parents have a huge role in this, you know. So for example, my parents always supported me in whatever I did, you know, and this was nice.
Your parents.
Shout out to her parents, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, this was all you.
Yeah, but at some point when I got injured, and for example in martial art, it was like, "Khalas, stop! This is for boys, and you're now an adult." You know, I was like, "No, please stop this." Yes, regardless of this, khalas, when I was already passionate, you know. But and at an early age, they were really supportive, and know, yes, do this and that. Yeah, go ahead. هن سجلوني بالأخير and all of those, you know? Yeah.
Well, you did mention something. I know we're kind of out of time, but you talked about something kind of huge, that people do think that fighting is just for boys, right? And you did this. You've been doing this for a very long time. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people tell you that, hey, it's not very feminine to do fighting and stuff like that. What do you think about people say stuff like that?
I prove them wrong that in a daily life.
She a 10-time champ, buddy. What do you mean? Name a guy in Lebanon that's doing karate that's a 10-time consecutive champ. You do that, and we might consider that as a thing, right?
No, that's
until then, Nour, you continue to push the heights and limits. You are an inspiration to all women in Lebanon, which is a very true thing, and I want to say that real quick. Here is the last question from us.
From you.
Well, us, because we usually always ask this question, right? What is the future looking like for Nour?
I think the future now is more focused on my work field. I believe so. And those are like, they come along. So I'm not really sure if I'm staying in Lebanon or not. But what I know is that I'm probably doing my master's abroad. But for example, I always say, once I get there and I like I have my apartment or my studio or something, I'll start to search for this dojo next to me, for I don't know, this music room next to me that I always will be able to go and do what I like to do. يعني بالأخير, it's a part of me, So this is something like really always in my in my thoughts or in my
Yeah, amazing. Well, that's cool. I do want to ask one thing. It's really cool because I do think about it because you do a lot of work that's amazing, and you put a lot. I'm sure that came with a lot of sacrifices you've had to do, right? Because you're busy all the time, or because you do a lot of things. Tell us a bit about the sacrifices that, like, things you like to do, but you can't do because you chose this lifestyle.
Okay, so Anna, basically, I'm a really sociable person. So I have a lot of friends. I like bond with every group, any group she put me in, So I really like to go out to do all of that. But when I started uni, I really sacrificed a lot my outings, my like hangouts,
social life.
So I limited them. Not really, partially yes, when I say that. And my outings like خفوا شوي, بس إنه I still I put for myself a break. I don't know, maybe one outing a week, for example. It depends if I have midterms. Sometimes I like skip even trainings, So I focus more. It's I go back again to compromising, prioritizing, all of that. Yes, mainly this. So sometimes, for example, I had an opportunity to many times, by the way, I had opportunities to participate in an international championship. So I was selected, but for example, I had a midterm, a jury, or I had something else of my commitments. So I had to choose. And I always have to sacrifice, especially when you do much things. Yeah. Yes, again, it all goes around the priorities and compromising.
Well, Nour, it's been a pleasure talking to you, but unfortunately
we are
on the
out
show.
of time.
It's
really fun.
A lot of important shit that's been said. We are very excited to see where Nour's future takes her in terms of karate or life in general, right? Thank you guys for watching another episode of A to the Show. If you guys enjoyed this episode, as much as we enjoyed filming it for you,
share it
and share the videos. Yes,
share the videos.
Share,
give
subscribe,
it to your cousin,
like,
your uncle,
better
your
internet,
friends.
right? Nour, is there anything you'd like to shout out or let the world know?
The word no. Do whatever you like to do. Be passionate about what you do so you could succeed. Do not get motivated. Always see the good part of what you do. Even if something bad happened, like see the good part of it and use it as a motivation. Yes, and perceive in what you like to do. Do not stop anything. Yeah.
Yep. There you have it. You heard it here first from Nour. Peace, love, happiness.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
It was nice meeting you.